I must have set it up too early.
There we go. Got it.
We're live on Facebook, which is always a good thing. Hello, lovely ladies, my business women rising above ladies. We had a few technical difficulties this morning, but that's okay. We're dealing with, some funny stuff, and I'm just making sure that I set up so I can see all your comments as we come through. Welcome to our Thursday morning members spotlight, where we have our wonderful members come and introduce themselves and showcase their businesses. So I'm really excited to have Sharon Veness with us this morning. Welcome, Sharon. How are you?
Hi, I'm really good. Thanks for having me, Ali.
Oh, no problem. I'm really excited. I know a little bit about what you do, and I'm excited and having you sharing it with our members. So rather than me introduce you, tell us a bit about yourself and what you do.
Ooh, okay. So my name is
Big
Sharon.
open question.
Yeah, I know. Well, my name is Sharon, of course. And I live in Sydney, so a little way away from you, which is kind of cool. And it's hot in Sydney today. I am a creative mindset coach. So I use art to help people get through things.
Right.
Through things. It's an interesting process. So lots of time we sit in our head and we think about things and we procrastinate about things and we sabotage ourselves and we do all those horrible things that little mind monkey tells us that we're really not good at. So we actually tap into that and connect with that inner through the art and remove those blockages to move forward.
And I really love this and I resonate with this because I have actually, and you and I have spoken previously about this, but I have actually used art myself to help me recover from a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
It wasn't all of it, but it was certainly something that helped me to do that as a naturally creative person. It was 100% something that helped me to get over that. And just a little brag here. These pictures,
they're great. I love them. Yeah,
I did them, and they were actually healing. They were healing for me to do them.
Yeah.
So this is curious. So this is a question that I've been dying to ask you, and I'd love you to share this with our members. Do you have to know how to paint, how to draw, how to do stuff like that?
No.
To come to you.
If you can hold a pen, you can do it.
Oh, look, I can do it.
And even if you can't hold a pen, I actually follow a lady on Instagram who was born with a birth defect, and she has no hands to about that point on her arm, and she's the most amazing artist.
Wow.
She was told she would never art, and she said, go to hell, people, I am. So she uses her little, and I've spoken to her so many times. She's in America, and I actually connected with her because I said, I really want to use you, like in a nice way, to show people that you actually don't even need hands to art. This lady has just adapted and still creates because it's your mind that does the creation, not specifically your hands or your materials. So it's quite an interesting process. And once you're open to it and you let go to it, good things happen. And good things come, interesting things sometimes.
I know. So tell us a little more about the process that you do through. I'm really curious.
So I'm going to take a little step back, if I may.
You may.
So my, I don't even know where to start. I have so many things to say, but I, as a young person, suffered severely from anxiety and depression when I was younger and in my early 20s. I actually didn't know what that was because it really wasn't something that was talked about a lot. I'll say not a long time ago because I'm not that old, but, it's not even that long ago. But it's something that was a little bit sort of swept under the carpet. And I think these days people are more open to expression and being okay with, having anxiety or depression or sadness or, you know, any of those sorts of things. So I wanted to be an artist, like all through school. As I got older, I tried, never really had much opportunity, no massive support from parents and things like that. So I ended up becoming an accountant, believe it or not, like totally opposite side of the brain. Yeah. So
Definitely.
I did that for, I don't know, I don't even want to say how many years, but way too many years, like 20 plus years. And we work with right and left brain. So we have like the thinking side and the creative side. And this is why I like to tell this story, because it really can make you understand how this kind of happens and how my story came about. And so, you know, I was constantly, you know, at work doing all this number crunching and working for people. And every day I'd come home and think, oh my gosh, I haven't done something. I had this feeling inside me, like I always felt like I had forgotten to do something. And I didn't know what it was. And, you know, I'd go through my brain going, no, I've done that, I've done that. Did my little tick list of things. And it wasn't until about 7 years ago that I started to go through menopause, or perimenopause, they call it. It's still all hell on earth, but anyway.
I know it very well.
Perimenopause, yeah. I got like really sick, and I got quite quickly like a number of fairly severe illnesses hit me all at once. And I was still working in this job and I had to quit. I didn't really want to, but I kind of, my hand was forced. I had chronic fatigue and, you know, a whole bunch of other things I won't go into because it's kind of a bit boring. But I sat at home for about 3 months because I really couldn't move and I couldn't function and I couldn't do anything. And I meditated a lot. And it was in that time that I really just worked out what this thing was that I had forgotten to do. And it was that I had forgotten to connect with myself and do art. Wow. It was the freakiest thing. Anyway, so on my mission, I went to create, and I had always created, you know, in that time, like in all of those years, but nobody ever knew that I could do that.
Right.
Including myself.
Wow. Isn't that
had
amazing?
a lot of self-doubt, like huge amounts of self-doubt. In that corporate world, no issue. But in that creative world, no, I could not do that. So when I started to create again, it was almost like I was hiding it. And I sort of, you know, I do this little kind of thing and I thought, I'll just do abstract art because like no one can judge that because it's just nothing, you know. It's actually one of the hardest forms of art to do, believe it or not, but I'll do abstract art. And then I kind of like started my Facebook page and all of this. And like the first post, I was like, shit, what a, oh, sorry, I just said a swear word.
No, it's all right. We're, you know.
Oh, good. Like, what are people going to think? And I posted it and I was like, okay. And it was almost like a burden had lifted off my shoulders.
Oh.
Yeah, it was quite, I don't know, like lots of people use the word cathartic. It was almost that kind of an experience for me.
Yeah.
And it was like the floodgate opened and I just started like creating. And, you know, lots of different layers came out. And during that time, I had also been studying as well. So that was like another level of layer opening. So, which was really, really cool. And yeah, now I just do, and I see when I look at my paintings, I go, oh, that was happening there and that was happening there. And I can actually see the transformation almost for myself. And that's the amazing thing about art is it doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be amazing. You just have to do it, right? You just have to do it. And when we do like art in these processes, sometimes it's not even about creating an artwork. It's just about releasing an emotion or releasing a feeling or, you know, like just mindfully I'll call it mindfulness, but it's mindful-less. You just let things happen and see what it means to you. How did it make you feel? Where did you feel it inside of you? Because you know what you need. Inside you, you know what you need.
Yeah.
But your brain does not know that.
As you're speaking, my brain's going mad like in so many different areas, because, you know, like you said, well, let me just tell you about these. So I've had a lot of people when they've looked at like either one of those paintings, they've said to me that they see anger in those paintings. And I was thinking about this, knowing that I was going to talk to you this morning. I was remembering and they see like anger. I don't know. I think it's up to the individual, but I feel that they were done at a time when that, to me, they say release, not anger, release. Now, what was I releasing? Was I releasing anger? I don't think so. I don't actually know what I was releasing. Yeah. But I still have like, I don't know, almost a connection to them. I did them, but something in me needed to be released to be able to do such a set like that. Yeah. You know? And while I didn't make them up. I actually copied them from a YouTube tutorial. Right?
Yeah, and that's okay, because what will come for you.
Yeah, and I basically what I did was change it up and use my colours, what was resonating with me at the time. Correct. Yeah. It is fascinating. And you know, your story, and that's the first time I've ever heard you tell your story like that. I'm resonating with it in the sense that, you know, I too have used it to overcome trauma and hardship. And there was a time, you know, when I wasn't able to function well mentally. Yeah. I started doing the paint by numbers. Yeah. And I've actually got, and I was going to bring it in, but I didn't. But I've got this huge painting of a lady playing a piano. I might put a picture down. Yeah. And it was a really intricate paint by numbers, but it wasn't necessarily the painting itself. It was just the sitting and doing it. And it was it's the mindfulness. Mindfulness. That was exactly what it stopped, all those little niggly thoughts that were going around, and I was able to just concentrate on what it was. And it was, as you say, cathartic to do it. It took me months. Yeah. So cathartic to do it. Yeah. So and when you tap into that creative side, so whether it's, you know, art, singing, dance, movement, music, there's a whole range of creative therapies out there. You actually release the feel-good hormone of dopamine into your system. So when you're in that doing side, and I don't even know what the hormone is, and I don't even want to know, because I kind of go just whatever. But do you know, that's where people get stressed, right? So I call it like running on the hamster wheel. Yeah. So you're constantly going like on this little wheel, running, doing stuff. Like, what am I having for breakfast? I got to get the kids to school. Oh my gosh, I've got to get to work. I've got to, blah. And it's always just thinking, right? Thinking. And it's releasing that other hormone that is not so great for you, which causes the fight or flight process within you. So you're constantly living in, do I fight or do I flee? Which is not good for stress levels. When we get back into that creative side, it pushes that away, and it's releasing that other feel-good hormone, which is dopamine. I love talking about that a lot, as you can see. And it makes you feel a lot calmer, a lot better. And that's why that adult coloring is such a good thing to do, because you're in that mindfulness place. You're not thinking, you're just doing. Yeah, I get it. And I was doing a lot of things like that. I was doing the adult coloring. I was doing, you know, like those 5D Diamante little things. Yeah, the diamond dots. Yeah. It was literally at the time anything that I could do, mindfulness. I love that. Yeah. That I could take my mind off the shit that was going on up here. Yeah, 100%. Right? You know, and I will say that it helped my recovery. Sometimes it was amazing what would happen, and I'm curious to know if some of your students, this happens to them. But sometimes it was, even though I wasn't thinking, as I was doing these things, I would have this sudden aha moment about either myself or what was happening with me, or, you know, a thought pattern. It just that something would click, or even, actually, this was a powerful thing. Even what I would find sometimes is I would just burst into tears for no reason, because obviously as I was doing this, I needed to release something.
Yeah.
Because it happens a lot.
Yeah, because it's your internal coming out. It's being revealed. Yeah. Being revealed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
It was powerful.
And a lot of the art therapy work that gets done is it's the reveal. So it's digging into the shadow to find the gold. Ooh. So you have to dig into the shadow to find the gold.
Oh, I like that.
You have to. So you go through the tunnel. You know, people go, oh, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like that. You have to go through the tunnel to get to the end, right?
Of course, yes.
You can't get to the end if you don't walk through it. So, and that's the hard part. Some people don't want to walk into the tunnel.
Yeah.
It's scary. It is. Trust me, it's super scary. And and that's why I say, you know, when you do this kind of work, you have to come with an open heart and an open mind and be ready to make a change. So doing I call it mindset coaching. It's way more than that, but it's, you know, you can't frame it in such a way that it kind of makes sense, if you know what I mean. And
I do.
Some people kind of go, ooh, I can't draw. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. You just have to go with the process. And do you know, like, I can draw. However, let me quickly show you some of the works that I have done. You would think, well, but wait, I can draw. You've seen some of my paintings, Ali. This is one of mine. Wow. Now, what does that mean? That actually means something to me on the day where I painted it. So we actually sometimes just connect back in. This was a childhood exploration. So I painted like a child.
Yes, I can. Yeah, right.
It's like a kid's painting. Yes. So when we're connecting with something within us, the thing that needs to come out will come out, right? So you don't actually even have to be good at art. And that's why I say to people, get out of your head, because if you're coming into this thinking that you're going to paint this amazing masterpiece, you'll be sad because that's not going to happen, right? And then another one is this. So this one,
that's powerful to me.
This is wool. So we created a labyrinth. There was a whole story behind this, and these little symbols came out during the meditation. So I incorporated those in. But as you can see, it's not anything. This is finger painting. So I didn't even use a brush. I just used my finger to dab color. So it's not even always about just creating color or design. Another one I just want to quickly show you too, which is another really good way, is collaging.
Oh,
so cutting out magazine pictures. So I use collaging a lot in my processes because it can sometimes take away the stress of the art part of it.
Yeah, right.
And cutting and gluing, again, it brings you back to this space of, oh, let me look at more pictures. Oh, I cut that one out. Let me look at that. I'll cut that one out. And then picking the words, you know, picking out words that go with the pictures. And what do the pictures mean to you? And then journaling around. This one was an animal themed one. So I had lots of different animals. So like, you know, T-Rexes and cats and birds and dogs and turtles and things. So there was a whole revelation around the animals for me. So so it's,
I've got comments like that coming through when you held up that animal one. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
I love that you say, you know, it's not all one. Obviously, you know, painting is a tool that you use, but it's not, like you say, it's not just painting. There are all different ways of being creative. You know, I consider myself a creative person. I've never considered myself a painter or an artist or anything. I'm more musical. But to then come in and integrate the the art side of it into it, you know. And I remember saying to you, or I think I said to you, or I said to someone when we first met, it's like, oh, I can't draw a stick figure.
Yeah.
But then I've managed to do these, you know, and other stuff. So I'm learning in my own mind that it doesn't matter. Like you say, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm learning to stop saying that to myself. Like, you know, I do have creativity in me.
Everybody has it.
You would hear a lot. You would hear people say that a lot, would you?
Oh, 100%. And I have people that won't even do any of my courses because they think they're not creative.
Wow.
Which is really sad. But then that's a resistance, which is a mindset thing. So you see it all kind of flows back.
I can.
Like what's your resistance around doing that? Was there something that was said to you when you were young that stopped you from doing that? When we're young, we get a lot of anchors set within us. So, oh, you're not good at art, or you're not good at singing. Oh, stand at the back because, you know, you haven't got a very good voice. Or, oh, you know, maybe we'll put you on the side of the dancing because, you know, or we'll make you a tree. I don't know, whatever it is. Those anchors stay with us in our psyche and they follow us through life. And I did have this exact thing happen to me when I was in year 2. I have done a lot of work around this because it still irritates me to this day, but I don't let it stop me from doing things anymore. But we were drawing in year 2, you know, what are you, 6 or 7 years old or something like that. And I still remember it vividly, colouring a cat in. We were doing numbers and the numbers were made into animals. So our activity was we had to colour in the you know, the design or whatever it is. So I was colouring in this cat blue, and the teacher came up and picked up my sheet and screwed it up and threw it in the bin and said, "Cats are not blue. What are you thinking?" And from that moment on,
wow,
it set my perfectionist head in motion, right?
Yep.
Because, oh, cats are not blue. What colour are cats? So you're constantly finding what is right. So all through school and all through high school, I was trying to be right all the time. And, you know, if I didn't get, you know, over 90% in an exam, in my mind, I had failed. If I didn't, you know, I was on a swim team, I made state swimming. If I didn't make state, I was no good. I was in the choir. I was in this, you know, it's like this perfectionism thing. You have to do all this stuff to make you feel better. But it's actually another person's projection onto you that you're taking on, their belief system.
100%. Let me tell you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I've had something similar happen to me as a child. So I grew up with this really close friend, and our natural abilities was she is a natural artist, right? She's very good at art and creativity that way. I'm very good musically.
Yeah.
Something we had both people, teachers, parents saying to us, and we started saying to each other, was that I would say to her, you're the artist, I'm no good at art. She would say to me, you're the musician, I'm no good at music. So we were convincing each other of these things. Yeah. It was and so when you say it goes back to childhood, that for me saying I can't draw a stick figure, that 100% goes back to childhood.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And as adults, we stop ourselves from doing these things because of all of this crap that we've been told in life, you know, by parents, teachers, siblings, people we don't even know.
Yes. Exactly.
Do you know, people we don't even really give a toss about, but we still listen. Like, I don't know why, but so once I actually, and it wasn't even, it was only like maybe 5 years ago that particular thing came up for me. I was doing, excuse me. See, it makes my voice croaky talking about it, right?
Yeah.
I was doing kinesiology, and the kinesiologist pinpoints, you know, times in your life where you've had a particular, they call it like an event or a trauma.
Yep.
And that came up. I just started crying and I was like, oh my God, like this has been my whole life pattern. This is ridiculous. You know, even when I studied accounting, you know, if I didn't get 100% in my accounting exams, I was like, oh, Farad, I'm not going to be really good at this job. I'm not going to be good at this job because I didn't get 100. Like if I can't get this right, how am I going to be a good accountant for somebody? I can't make a mistake.
Perfectionist, it sucks.
It's really bad. And this is the thing, and this is what I talk about a lot now with because I work a lot with kids as well as adults, is there is no such thing as perfection. Because what is perfection? Who sets the perfection bar? We do, right? We set it. And when does it ever end? Where does it ever end? Because, you know, if I look at that and I go, oh, I couldn't show people that because that's not perfect. In what book does it say where that is perfect? There's no book that says it. It's our own mind, right? So I see a lot of that. People go, oh, no, I can't show you that because it's not perfect yet. I'm like, what's perfect? It doesn't exist.
I agree. And even before I started to do painting, I found that, you know, I want to put this out there to anyone who's considering or would like, you know, to know more about working with Sharon. When I started to do the painting, I procrastinated in starting simply because I was scared to fail. I was scared, even though I was following a YouTube tutorial to do this, and it was a beach painting. Right? Yeah, the scenery of a beach, and I was scared to make a start because I was scared of failing. So I procrastinated, and you know, the minute I finished this painting, it took me about 3 weeks. Yeah. By the time I decided I was going to do it, to actually do it, and then when I'd done the painting, as I'm doing it, my mind's going, "This is shit. This is shit." And then when I finished the painting, and I stepped back and I looked at the painting as a whole, my whole mindset changed, and I went, oh my God, I'm an artist. Yeah. So do you find that your clients have that kind of reaction sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes. So when we're doing like these processes, we go a lot deeper even. Of course, yeah. With you, your mind going, this is crap, that would be something that I would look into and say, why do you think it's crap? What's making you feel that it's crap? What's the reason? Because there would be a reason. Absolutely. And you know what the reason is, but at that moment, you weren't ready to let that go. No, I wasn't. No, but I know, you're right. I know what it is now, but I needed to go through that process to figure it out myself. Yeah, exactly. So we can 100% use art to help with our mindfulness and positive mindset. If you like. 100%. Yeah. And I've got I'm actually starting. I don't know what day it is. I don't know. Because we're in school holidays still, and we had a public holiday yesterday, which was Wednesday, and I woke up today going, holy shit, it's Monday. I've missed this thing. I'm like, oh, no, it's Thursday. So I don't even know where I'm at. Anyway, what day is it again? Thursday. Yeah, so, where was I going with this conversation? Now I've just lost it. Next Monday, I've got my Creative Mindset Mojo program starting. Which is quite cool, and it is a 12-week process, 6 topics, and we do talk a lot about this. Anyway, I'll put links. I don't want to talk too much about it now, but I'll pop links into the chat after we finish, and people can have a look if they're keen to explore that a little bit more. And also I'll pop my page on as well, because lots of things happen there. I have like a lot of little freebies. I've also got, in March, I'm doing a placement activity where I need some volunteers. So really? If you are interested to do, it is a 4-week process, 2 hours over 4 weeks. There are a couple of conditions, not hard and not many. I'm looking for participants for that. So if anybody's interested in dipping their toe in, definitely that could be really worthwhile. It's all free, and it's on Zoom. So the commitment is 2 hours per week over 4 weeks.
That sounds incredible. There you go, ladies. So, Sharon, if you feel free to put links in the comments.
I will.
Once you've done this. And ladies, you know, I would encourage you to get in contact with Sharon if you feel this is something that, you know, that you're drawn to. 100% get in contact with
Pardon the pun.
Yeah. I didn't even realise. There you go. She is a beautiful lady, you know, and I know that you are going to get so much out of working with her in whatever capacity you decide to do that. Thank you so much for today, Sharon.
You're welcome.
Been really good. I love it. I just love these organic conversations to learn about what people do.
Yeah, it's so good. I know. And as we said before, you know, we can both talk.
Yeah.
I talk a lot. Sometimes my skill of not talking is like, so
yeah, me too.
but you know, I do have that skill as well. But yeah, definitely if you're interested in exploring creative practices and mindset through creativity, it's an interesting journey. I've been there myself, and it's quite eye-opening, to say the least. And you don't need skills, so don't worry, don't panic if you cannot art. It doesn't matter, as long as you can hold a pen or a brush or something. That's all you need to be able to do. There
you go, ladies. I would love, I hope that you get in, if you're listening to this and you're resonating, get in touch with Sharon. As I said, she's a wonderful lady. And just before we go, if you would like to showcase your business on a Thursday morning, feel free to get in touch with me. Send me a PM if you would like, and either myself or my assistant will get in contact with you to set a date in when we can interview you, because this is all about you guys. So thank you once again, Sharon. It's been amazing. It's been incredible.
I've loved it. Thank you. Thanks for having me. And thanks for everybody that has listened. And I'll pop the links below. And if you're interested, just get in touch with me.
We've had a heap of comments coming through. There's a few people watching, so
good.
Go back and read them.
I will. Yeah, I'm not looking at it at the moment, but I'll pop on and have a little look, definitely.
Good stuff. All right, Sharon, thank you again, and we will see all you lovely ladies again next Thursday for our member spotlight interview.
Beautiful.
Bye.
Thanks, Ellie. Bye, everybody.